Hey guys, so today I want to talk about subject and object pronouns, which is what we've been leading up to with our objects. So when I talk about subject pronouns, that means they are pronouns that I can use when I'm describing the subject of a clause. Shocker. So subject pronouns are the pronouns that perform the action in the sentence. Okay, so I, you, he, she, we, they, and who. Okay. Um, Now, when I use one of these, okay, I usually use it before my verb. Okay, for example, I make cookies every Sunday for my coworkers, and it acts as the subject for that sentence or clause. Now, the only time I want to use these pronouns is when they're the subject of the clause. Okay, that's when we want to use them. Now, object pronouns, on the other hand, are ones that receive the action in a sentence. Okay, so they are me, you, him, her, us, them, and whom. If you never knew how to use whom before, this is how you use it. Use these pronouns when you're replacing an indirect or direct object with a pronoun. Okay, so if we are using a pronoun as our indirect or direct object, it needs to be one of these, not one of these. Okay. An object pronoun can also be the object of a preposition. Okay, so for example, I will go with him. We use our object pronoun in the prepositional phrase with him. We do not want to say with he. Okay, we don't want to use subject pronouns in prepositional phrases either. Okay, so here's an example. I give them cookies every week. Them is my indirect object here, right? I give what? I give cookies to whom? To them. And I want to use the them, not they. Okay. Let's talk about compound objects, because this is really where it trips y'all up. She gave Jim and I extra cookies. So when I talk about compound objects, I'm talk about, I'm not just saying, me or him or them or whatever. I'm putting it together with other pronouns or nouns. Okay. So what's our problem here? She gave Jim and I extra cookies. Okay, now Jim and I here is an indirect object. Again, she gave what? Cookies to who? Jim and I. So I don't want to use my subject pronoun I. That's not where that goes. Okay, the correct sentence should have me, the object pronoun, following the verb. So she gave Jim and me extra cookies. Okay, now my trick for if you have trouble with this is to take out the other part of it and say just the pronoun to kind of check it in your head. So for example, saying she gave I extra cookies, you should right away be like, okay, that sounds weird. I need to say she gave me extra cookies. So just take away the other part of the compound object and check and see if your pronoun sounds right in the sentence. Okay, so again, let's look at a few examples of this. Incorrect, I went to the movies with Jim and she. Okay, correct, I went to the movies with Jim and her. All right, we want to use the object pronoun, not the subject pronoun she. Incorrect, the man gave he and her a pretzel. Correct, the man gave him and her a pretzel. And again, just do your little test. If I take it away, the man gave he a pretzel, that should sound weird. I went to the movies with she, that should sound weird. Okay, so test out your parts of the compound object to see if they're both correct. Okay. All right, so let's look at some practice, and we're going to say whether these are correct or incorrect, and if they're incorrect, we're going to fix them. All right, so Martha is telling him a joke. So here I have just one pronoun, him, okay, and I see that that is an object pronoun, all right, and it's an object. It's after my verb, okay, it's the indirect object, so that one is correct. All right, Jim made a copy of the report for Lucy and I. Okay, so looking at this one, looking for my pronoun, I see I is my pronoun, okay, and right here, it's the object of a preposition, okay, it's in the prepositional phrase for Lucy and I, so that's going to be wrong. I need to cross that out and change that to me, okay, I wouldn't say for I would say for me, okay. All right, number 3, I have to go. Mark is calling for Lucy and me. Here we see that for Lucy and me is our correct object pronouns. That one looks good. Let's look at our other pronoun, I. That's a subject pronoun, and I see it before my verb where it should be. This one is correct. Okay, Jim and me are planning a surprise for Sue's birthday. All right, so Looking for my pronoun, I see me. All right, Jim and me are planning a surprise for Sue's birthday. I don't want me here. This is an object pronoun. I don't want that before my verb like this. Think about if I took away the Jim and me are planning, or me is planning a surprise for Sue's birthday. That doesn't sound right. So we want to make that I. Okay. I do not know with who I will go to the prom. So a few things I see here. I see an I. It's a subject pronoun. It's at the beginning of our sentence before my verb, so that looks good. I see who, which is one of our relative pronouns, with who. So here, it's the object of a preposition. And who is my subject pronoun. So I want to change this one to whom. Okay. And then we've got I, again, a subject pronoun. It's before my verb, so it's the subject of this clause. So all of that looks good. All right. So we'll do some more practice with this tomorrow. And let me know if you have any questions.